Hey guys, welcome back to the Snapper Chronicles. We're coming back at you with another Ratchet video. Okay, today we have a Stanley. This is the Stanley Workmaster, and it's the model 86-200. There's an S there, I'm not sure what that is, and there is a patent for this of 4280379. Before we get into it, as you know, as always, I'm trying to, I guess, eternally raise up my viewership here, trying to raise up my subscribers. So give me the HBO special, help me out, press the like and the subscribe buttons, and I would appreciate it. And you guys, I see you guys, because I see the analytics, you guys are always here, and you never hit that subscribe button. So if you're not hitting the subscribe button, can you do me a favor? Leave me a message in the comments. Let me know why you're not subscribing. I would appreciate that. Okay, this one is kind of borderline gimmicky because it has this switch here, where usually switches are from side to side. This switch actually is a rocker switch, as you can see here. So kind of an interesting design, if not gimmicky, but I think to give you that kind of switching action, this button switch type, they kind of give you some bad features in this Ratchet, and we'll get into that in a second. When I open this up, there's this handle is knurled, and the knurl is pretty good. Actually, it's straight, and actually it's raised. You see that little ridge there from this part to this part? Actually, the knurled part is actually raised up, and which is a feature you don't see too much, I guess, in Ratchets nowadays, where they go that extra step and actually machine this lower than this part here, so you get a nice straight line there, and it looks a lot cleaner. So let's open this up. This has a normal coil ring that goes around the edge here, and that's what that looks. It's pretty thick. This is a thicker coil ring. Some of them are pretty, like, almost paper thin. This one has got a good thickness to it, I think, to take up some slack in the wiggle there. But now you just push this out, and here is your head. The head is a little bit thick, but I did put it side by side with another Ratchet, I think, like a one of the Killness New Britain styles, and they were pretty comparable. So not so tall here. There's a good amount of cutout here around the switch side, and then the teeth are let me look. It's about, I wouldn't say half is teeth and half is cutout. There's a little bit more teeth than cutout, but the teeth look pretty good, actually. They look like it's been broached okay. 42 teeth, I think, in this Ratchet. Kind of an odd number. Usually it's 40. Sometimes it's 42, but not usually. Off the top of my head, I can't remember a lot of Ratchets that were 42. This wasn't made in USA, I believe. You might, I don't know if I'm thinking about something else, but you might see these where it says USA on them, because around this time Stanley was doing kind of a little shadiness as far as putting USA on the Ratchets, even though they weren't made in the USA. But I think they got in trouble for that a while back. And here's the mechanism. The mechanism is pretty thick, as you can see here. It's a pawl that goes back and forth, a la SK style swinging pawl there. The problem with this pawl is that you can't remove it. It's pressed. Usually on ratchets, round head ratchets, the pin here that pivots the pawl is usually on underneath the switch, and you remove the switch and you can remove the pin. On this design, they had to compromise because of this up and down switch. They had to compromise where they had to put the pin in through the front there, and they had to press it in so it won't come out because there's nothing holding it in as it's sitting in the ratchet. You can see here, this is how it looks when you're ratcheting. So the pin is there and it just sits there and it's pressed in. So don't know and don't think that it's gonna come out any easy if you try to take it out. But what does come out usually is there's a pin here that holds this switch, so you can take out the switch and the mechanism. Usually I've had luck where the pin cooperates and it comes out. You might have to press it in a little bit in the middle here to give it a little slack. Let's see if we're getting luck. Ooh. There we go. Hold it down because it is under a little bit of tension, a little bit of spring tension. So here is the pin that holds the switch, and I put some oil on it to make sure I'll be able to get it out so it's well lubricated. So here is the pin. Just looks like a regular pin, steel pin. There's no real chamfering or anything on it. Just looks like about an inch long or something like that. Okay, now this switch comes out. Hopefully. Oh, there you go. There's some parts here, so be careful. There's a plunger on the switch. There's two plungers. There's one so I'll keep it kind of oriented, I guess. There's a spring plunger here. One plunger is longer than the other one, as you can see there. So, but there's two, and it goes through the switch here at the bottom. And it looks like that. And then there's the ball pivot that pivots, I guess, this part. No, actually this stays the ball, and there's a spring. There's this small spring, kind of a little bit wide but small. And then there's this ball. And these two sit at the bottom in that hole, kind of in there. And here is, you can see the pawl swinging back and forth. But as I said, you really can't take the pawl out because it's pressed in. So kind of weird that you can take the rest of it out, but you can't really take the pawl out. So I don't know what the deal is with if these ever had any kits, any repair kits or anything like that to repair them. you guys ever hear of any repair kits, let me know. I just thought it was strange that you can take it apart pretty much, but just not the pawl. And the pawl is probably the part that's gonna mess up mostly in this ratchet, in most ratchets. So there's the spring at the bottom, and you get it kind of flush in the hole. And if this wasn't magnetic, it would help. It wants to stick to the spring. Oh god. Where's my stuff? Okay. Here's my non-magnetic tweezer. That should help. And there we go. And it fits like that. And then the ball goes on top like that. And that's what the switch here at the bottom is pivoting on. The plunger is making the pawl go back and forth, but it's actually pivoting on the bottom here, on this bottom tip here, on that ball and spring. And the two plungers here, you see one side is kind of, did that fall out? No. Okay, when you get the switch, you're going to notice that one of them is round, one of the plungers is round, and one is flat. The flat one is the longer one. You want to put the longer one underneath the pawl. So make sure you got your spring and your ball in there. And then this is the tricky part. It's getting the switch back in there. Okay. And it's under a little bit of tension. Remember the flat, longer plunger underneath the pawl once again. And then you stick this in. There we go. Yeah, it's going to take you a little while to get used to where the hole is. I guess what I was doing, I was pressing down too much, and the hole was going deeper. So just probably let up on it a little bit, and you can keep looking through the hole to see where the hole lies before, so you can get the pin in. So you see if it's switching. Yep, it's switching. But like I said, another reminder, make sure that flat, longer plunger goes underneath the pawl. If you don't, you're going to have problems switching. Ask me how I know. And make sure the pin is flush. And you put it back in the mechanism with the switch side and that cutout. Like that, and you take your ring, and like I said, this is a thick ring, so I might take a little more pressure to get it back in. You see if it's ratcheting. Yep, it's ratcheting. So there you have it. That's the Stanley Professional ratchet with the toggle switch here. I don't know. Seems a little gimmicky. I think, like I said, they gave away too much for the switch. The pawl pin being on the outside there, where it's not removable, is kind of a problem for me. And this mechanism seems a little bit delicate to me. It has two plungers. One has to be put in properly. If not, it's gonna mess up the whole put together. I don't know. Seems more, to me personally, seems more like a gimmick. I don't know. Some people might like these. All right, guys. Until next time.